Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope everybody is having a fantastic week so far. Students, in this class we are looking at an IELTS speaking section lesson. The speaking exam is a 12 to 15 minute interview, often face-to-face with a native speaking examiner, kind of like myself, or sometimes done through the computer, through a computer-based exam. And today's speaking will focus in a large part talking about a book that you have read. Welcome Kruti, hi Ten, hi Juan. Welcome Carolina, Tsegareta. Nice to see many students joining in on the class. Everybody, as usual, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS, visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are the websites that power these live classes, contain all of our materials. This is our general IELTS here with the green background, and to join the premium version of our course, you just have to click this big red button over off to your right there. And it is a one-time payment for lifetime access. We're an IDP affiliate, a British Council partner, and an IELTS test registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent. We help thousands of students every week succeed on their exams. This is our academic website here with the blue background. Again, just click that big red button to join. You can use the code REACH9 because I definitely think that you can and you will reach a band 9 in IELTS. And when you apply that code, you'll get a 10% discount. And you can join hundreds of our students who have passed the IELTS exam and started university or living abroad. Students, when you're a premium user, you get 2 extra Zoom classes that will be like the one you experienced today. So if you want to check out what those premium classes look like, you can use this link here. And for premium users, you already have your link for this Thursday and Friday. Definitely get the apps and link them to the web app, Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help, and follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AE Help, GIELTS Help. Hi Asib, hi Mal, hi Fatima. Nice to see many of our regular, returning, and new students in the class. Welcome Jeffrey, our member. All right, if you have questions, just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. Right now, speaking, everybody, we will use Zoom very, very soon here for the speaking. So make sure that in the class today you speak and repeat. Copy what I say, copy how I say it. I speak with a West Coast North American accent. You will hear my style of English along the West Coast from Vancouver, even further north like Anchorage, Alaska, all the way down south to Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego. Even people sound quite similar. We speak this West Coast style English. It's a clean, crisp. You hear it in a lot of the movies. Of course, Hollywood is on the West Coast here. Okay, premium users, tomorrow speaking and then speaking again on the 1st. It was requested to do a lot of speaking, so that's what we will do. We always have videos up for you to check out. This one's a speaking one here. And again, make sure that today you speak and repeat. If I'm sounding a bit fast, I will slow down a bit once we get into the lesson. Do not worry. Just make sure to speak and repeat to the best of your ability. These lessons are recorded so you can review it later. Okay, I'm not sure if you're asking me, Asib, where I'm from. Again, I'm from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, not far from Vancouver, on Vancouver Island. It's a big island. All right, students, speaking. Tip number 1, go to your speaking exam early. Tip 2, Speak professionally. That means answer, explain, and give examples. Okay? Asib, I'm going to help you with your English speaking here, and I will help everybody watching this video now and in the future. All you have to do is just make sure to copy what I say, copy how I say it. Try to copy my intonation, articulation, and so forth. Okay? So you go an hour early, you practice your English with other candidates, just some light conversation, maybe some part 1 questions. Then 20 minutes before your exam, you register. They will take your photograph. They will ask for your ID. They will ask you to leave all of your possessions in a secure room and only take your pencil, eraser, and your bottle of water with you with no labels. And then you go into the exam room where you will be met by an examiner who will be very professional. They will say, welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. Before we continue, may I see your identification? Start with a very nice, clear, confident, and professional response. Yes, certainly. Here is my passport I had used to register and to check in just a few moments ago. Please take a look. Okay, it's your turn. Make sure you're repeating. Yes, certainly. Here's my passport I had used to register and to check in a few moments ago. Please have a look. Good. Jeffrey says, certainly. Here's my passport and national identification that I used to register for this IELTS exam several weeks ago. Please have a look. Jeffrey, it should just be one of those. I don't know if your national ID is the same as your passport, but you don't need both. You should only be using one, whichever one you use to register. Okay, so you wouldn't use both. All right, and then the examiner will ask you, while you're showing your passport or your ID, they will ask you, what is your full name? And again, just continue with that professional tone. This is not your friend. You didn't just meet some person on the street. This is a professional who is there to grade your English proficiency, just like going to a doctor's office or a lawyer's office or a professor's office. You're speaking professionally. Okay, so what is your full name? My given name is Thomas, and my surname is McKinley, as you can see in my passport. Please just call me Tom. Okay. They will ask what you want to be called, so show them that you prepared for the exam. Tell them in advance what you want to be called, and be confident, be yourself, okay? So again, just repeat after me. What is your full name? My given name is Thomas, and my surname is McKinley, as you can see in my passport. Please just call me Tom. Okay. Jeffrey, nice participation in the chat. I love to see that. It's awesome. So Jeffrey says, my given name is Jeffrey and my surname is Al-Farizi. Please refer to me as Jeffrey. Please refer to me as Jeffrey. Okay. Nice. Just watch accuracy, okay? You want to be really accurate with these. Even candidates who are nervous should be able to introduce themselves quite well if they are a band 7 or higher. Okay. Ilyos Beck says, tomorrow is my exam. What will I do? Ilyos Beck, as I said, if you're doing the speaking, show up early, an hour early, and think answer, explanation, example for the questions. Okay. All right. And then the examiner will say, well, for part 1, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Do you work or study? Very common question for the icebreaker. Okay, so make sure that you're prepared for this one. All right, and if you do both, say I am both employed and I go to school. Currently, I work as a waiter in a nice restaurant, and I'm studying to be a mechanical engineer. I will graduate next year. Okay, so nice, fluent, clear, professional answers. Okay, hi Dennis. All right, so again, repeat after me. Do you work or study? I am both employed and I go to school. Currently, I work as a waiter in a nice restaurant, and I'm studying mechanical engineering. I will graduate next year. Okay, so notice how here I'm already paraphrasing. This is what gets you a lot of points for vocabulary and coherence when you paraphrase. So work is employment. Study is to go to school. And then I'm using what's called a correlative conjunction here, the both and, to link these two elements. Okay, and it's that kind of professional, fluent paraphrase language that really gets you those high band scores. Okay. All right. Here you can see an alternative answer from Alexander. Alexander, thank you. That's great. So Alexander says, I neither work nor study except some preparations for the IELTS test, as I like to travel and communicate with people around the world. So I like to improve my English in my spare time. Yeah, and the answer is great, Alexander. You definitely want to show fluency. Don't overspeak in the IELTS. Keep your answers relatively concise. As long as you're fluent, though, you do want to give complete answers. Like here, Alexander, if you tell me that you neither work nor study except some IELTS, immediately in my head as the examiner, the question of like, okay, well, why, right? So if you're not working or you're not studying, why are you studying IELTS, right? And then you tell me, you can say, I think IELTS is a great way to improve intermediate to advanced English. And I agree, it is. IELTS focuses on intermediate to advanced English. It focuses on all 4 skills of communication, listening, reading, writing, speaking. So it's a great way to do that, for sure. Okay, and that's what you want to do. All right, and again, nice use of correlative conjunctions. I can see some of you are doing that. Neither nor. Okay, both and. Those work really well for improving your band scores. Okay, all right, fantastic, students. And then the examiner will introduce the part 1 topic. They'll say, let's talk about moving homes. Okay, so moving. Have you ever had to move to a different home? Okay. This is present perfect. And, you know, and for some of you, I know you're thinking, well, Adrian, before you showed that, you know, you're asking the present perfect at the end of part 1. That's not a rule. The examiner can ask you present perfect or conditional at any time. They don't have to ask the questions in order. And they will ask questions to candidates that are more challenging grammar if they feel you have good English. So if you're speaking to them nicely at the beginning, they might just start with, have you ever had to move to a different home? Immediately you answer with a present perfect. Yes, I have. When I started university, I moved out of my childhood home into a dormitory at the university of Victoria. It was a very memorable time in my life. Okay, and again, you don't need to overspeak, just clarity, answer, explanation, example. Clearly here it's for studies. Now notice how I use this present perfect right away. Yes, I have. So again, repeat after me. Have you ever had to move to a different home? Yes, I have. When I started university, I moved out of my childhood home into a dormitory at the University of Victoria. It was a very memorable time in my life. Okay, Morningstar, very nice. Morningstar is a weapon, of course. Morningstar says, yes, I've moved homes a few times. One memorable move was when my family relocated to a new city due to my parents' jobs. Very nice, Morningstar. Very nice. Okay. And then it moves along here nicely. They'll keep asking you different questions, and they'll ask something like this. This is actually taken from a past IELTS exam. So here's an interesting question. Finally, do you see yourself moving again soon? And if so, where would you like to go and why? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. I love how many of you are now putting answers into the chat. That is fantastic. We're going to open up this class to Zoom speaking in just a moment. So I really want you to interact, to give your answers, be confident. So try this one in the chat, and very quickly here you will have a chance to try it verbally. Okay, and so here we go, everybody. Finally, do you see yourself moving again soon? If so, where would you like to go and why? Here's my answer. Yes, in fact, I do see myself relocating within the next year. If all goes according to plan, I will be moving to the US, more specifically to the eastern part of America to continue my studies in my graduate program at MIT. Okay. All right. So there is a full sentence answer with clarity and specifics. Okay, using conditionals, answers, explanations. Okay, so yes, in fact, I do see myself relocating within the next year if all goes according to plan. I will be moving to the US, more specifically to the eastern part of America, to continue my studies in my graduate program at MIT. Shoot for the stars, right? Okay. Crash Adam from Minecraft is asking, how do I learn vocabulary effectively? Learn 4 to 7 words each day, put it into context, and review it the next day. Okay. All right. So Morningstar, let's look at a negative answer here, and that's also okay. Just make sure that you're clear. So Morningstar says, at the moment, I don't see myself moving again anytime soon. I'm quite comfortable where I am, and it offers everything I need. Okay, Morningstar, it's a good start. But here, again, so for the examiner, this would be like a band 7 to 8. Great English, okay? And that's what 8 is. It's very good English. Why is it not expert? So why not expert? What do you think? Like, why would I, if I'm your examiner, I'd still be like, oh, it's really nice and you're speaking very good English, but it's not just, but it's very good. It's not expert. There's something missing. And if the examiner feels anything's missing, it's not a 9. For a band 9, the examiner shouldn't feel anything's missing. Okay, so that's why this would be like a band 7 to 8. So a lot of examiners would give it maybe a band 8 Morningstar. Some might give it a 7.5. Some might even give it an 8.5, but they will be reluctant to give it a 9. And why is that? Right? What do you think? Okay, why is that? So I'll tell you, and this is what you really want to think about, and even if you're not using perfect English, you want to think this way to get the higher score. So Morningstar's, at the moment, I don't see myself moving again anytime soon. I'm quite comfortable where I am, and it offers everything I need. Okay, yeah, Fatima, exactly. So this is what Fatima says. Fatima says, well, where do you live? Okay. All right, and maybe you have answered this in some of the previous parts, but let's just take this case by case. So I would say something like, currently I'm living in Manhattan and I'm quite comfortable where I am. It offers everything I need, from good schools to entertainment. Just yesterday, I walked 5 minutes from my flat and watched a world-class performance on Broadway. I should probably make that capital. Okay, so that would be a band 9. That's where the examiner's like, okay, no questions remaining in my head. Right? I get it. I get what you are. I get where you are. I understand why you're comfortable there. Fantastic. So that would be your band 9. Like, at the moment, I don't see myself moving again anytime soon. Currently, I'm in Manhattan and I'm quite comfortable where I am. It offers everything I need, from good food to schools to entertainment. Just yesterday, I strolled down the block and ate the world's best pizza. Awesome. No questions in my head. You're not moving. You love where you are. It's got all the amenities that you just listed. Okay, so Morningstar says, but I'm in Uzbekistan. Yeah, Tashkent could be the Manhattan of the region, right? Downtown Tashkent. I don't know. All right, makes sense. Okay, Fatima is sending some roses to Carolina. That's nice of you. All right. So students, that's how it goes. Now, after part 1, the examiner says that is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. For this part, I will show you some questions on a topic. You will have 1 minute to read these. Think about your answers. Then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start and when to stop. Is that clear? Then you say, yes, it is. And then the examiner says, talk about a book that you have read recently and discuss why you would recommend it to others. Okay, so it's clearly a book you have read. Have read is again present perfect. It's an achievement, it's an accomplishment, it's a change over time, it's an experience. Then as step 1, you read the questions. The title and author of the book, what the book is about, why did you choose to read this book, what you found interesting or valuable in the book, why you would recommend it to others, explain how the book influenced your thinking, feelings, or perspectives on certain subject or life in general. You will have 1 to 2 minutes to prepare your response, and you should speak for 2 minutes. Okay, and you read that card. So everybody start thinking about books that you have read. This is clearly an event because you read the book and that's an event. And the book story, or what happens in the book, is also an event. So when you're talking about an event, you need to think about the location of the event. Now, the location here might be you're reading the book in your bedroom every night before you go to bed, or maybe in your living room, or at school, or at work. But it's also the location of where, you know, the story takes place. Okay, so where's the location there? The time could be when you read the book, and also the time that's in the book, right? So the story of the book, think both. So the time, the attendees. Now clearly here it's you who read the book, but who are the characters in the book, right? You're thinking book characters here. And maybe the author, if you remember the author. All right. And then the activities or the experience are important. So think about those. Okay, think about the narrative. And then you take some notes. Right? So I'm going to speak about where the red fern grows. One of my childhood favorites. And then you will prepare your first sentence. This is what should be happening in the 1 minute preparation time. Recently, I reread one of my childhood favorite books titled Where the Red Fern Grows. Okay? And so that's your first sentence. Okay? And then you give the story. So I read this book in my spare time in the evenings in my office when I wanted to take a break from my work. I can't remember the name of the author, but it is an excellent book for kids and adults alike. The story chronicles a child who purchases hunting dogs to hunt raccoons. Okay, and then you tell the story briefly and you say why it's important. So paying attention to the questions that are here. Okay. This book gives an incredible sense of achievement as the child rises to fame as one of the greatest hunters with dogs, and then ends in tragedy with the dogs dying. It's a roller coaster of emotions from start to finish, and I would recommend it to all people because it's a well-written book and it makes people laugh and cry. Okay, so go into those details, explain. Students, you're going to practice part 2 and part 3 today primarily through Zoom. Now again, let's share this Zoom link, okay, with everybody. So here is the Zoom link, and you will have a chance to chat with me with this link. I'll start up the Zoom here in just a second, start joining in. Again, this kind of practice, you get 2 full Zoom classes. Sorry, you get 2 full Zoom classes when you're a premium member of our website, Thursday and Friday. So one will be tomorrow, one will be on Friday, every single week, just about every single week. You're welcome to use your camera in Zoom. I'm using it in YouTube right now, so please join in using that link that I just shared in the chat. The website looks like this. This is aehelp.com. Again, to become a premium user of the website, click the big red button. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access. It's about 30 to 50 bucks US, so quite affordable, and has lots and lots of content for you. And then each week you are emailed the Zoom links for the premium classes, so you can do these Zoom classes. General IELTS students, it's gieltshelp.com. Carolina, if you could put the link into the chat for us for academic and general IELTS in case person decides that, hey, this is good, I want to join these Zoom classes regularly, a couple more a week won't hurt. All right, let's do this. So I'll put on my headphones so I can hear you, and then we'll get you into the speaking here. We've got 7 people in the waiting room. That's a good solid number to start. We've got Juan, Mathusri, Min, Fatime, nice. Start. Juan, Bakadir, Robert, great. To volunteer to practice this part 2, all you have to do is put up your hand. As you can see, Alexander has already done that. And to raise your hand, you want to click on the reactions in Zoom, which is here, and then you can raise your hand and so forth. Okay, let's start with Min today. So Min, can you unmute yourself, please? Min, if you're there, just unmute your microphone. Hi, Min.
Oh, hi, Adrian. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
Yeah, I feel great.
Right on, right on. Min, can you tell everybody where you are and why you're taking the IELTS?
Oh, hi. I'm live in Vietnam, and the main reason that I want to take the IELTS exam is to apply for my master degree.
Okay. Can you remind me what you're going to study in your master's?
Oh, my major is veterinary medicine.
Veterinary medicine. Well, you would love that book I just mentioned, Where the Red Fern Grows. It's definitely a good book for animal lovers. All right. So Min, let's do this. Let's do part 2. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it. So that is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. For this part, I will show you some questions. You will have 1 minute to read these, think about your answers, and then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. Talk about a book that you have read recently and discuss why you would recommend it to others. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Oh, a book that I recently read, and I would highly recommend to the other is Harry Potter, written by J.K. Rowling. It's the first novel in the Harry Potter series, which follows the story of a young wizard named Harry Potter, who discovers he's a wizard on his 11th birthday. One of the reasons that I would recommend this book is its captivating world building, and the author has created a detailed and imaginative world filled with magical systems, spells, and unique characters. Hogwarts itself feels like a character with its movings and hidden rooms, adding a sense of wonder to the story. And it is easy for readers to get lost in this magical universe. Another reason is the story themes. Beyond the fantasy elements, the book touches on universal ideas like friendship, bravery, and collaboration. And throughout Harry's journeys, alongside his friend Hermione and Ron, and it teaches readers the importance of loyalty and standing up for what is right, even in the face of danger.
Okay.
To sum up,
go ahead, finish the sentence.
To sum up, the book is highly engaging and fast-paced. That's the end of my part 2.
Okay, I got you. That was awesome. You're encouraging me to read Harry Potter. All right.
Yeah,
good for
I'm a
you.
big fan of Harry Potter.
Good. I can tell, man. That was awesome. Yeah, it almost sounds like you're a member of a book club because that's what people do in book clubs. They have these kinds of discussions, and you certainly sound like you've almost practiced this response once or twice, or have talked to people about this book in English. That was really good. It was. Well structured, first of all. So you had a good start, middle, and end. And the examiners are looking for that in a big way for part two. They don't like answers that are difficult to follow, that are kind of jumpy or random. They are looking for answers that have a clear beginning, middle, and end. And that's exactly what you had. You described the book, the author of the book, the main character, Harry Potter, the context of the book. You described the real world benefits of the book, so the wisdom that's in the book with friendship, loyalty, justice, and then summed it up. You said to sum up, the book is highly engaging and fast paced. Your vocabulary was fantastic. Your grammar was good. You made one mistake right at the beginning. You said a book that I recently read, right? If you're still reading it, then you should say a book that I have been reading recently. Okay, so just slight grammatical errors. That's why it wouldn't be like a perfect 9, but certainly you would be around that band 8 category for this, man. It would be in the very good range, because that was certainly very good. So if you didn't have those small grammatical mistakes here and there, and just a little bit smoother intonation, it would be a perfect band 9. But a band 8 that's very good. That's a score to be proud of. So good for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions about part 2, Min?
No, I don't have any question.
Okay, that was good. If you would like to improve that extra little bit, all I would do is just, when you're practicing this, record yourself, identify those couple of small mistakes, and then try to say it again, quote unquote, perfectly, right? So try to say it again without any mistakes, and the same way, and it'll be fantastic. So very, very well done. Thank you so much, Min.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, everybody, give Min a thumbs up, because that is definitely the right way to talk about the Harry Potter book. If you've read the Harry Potter books and you like them. So big thumbs up. Pow, that's for you. Man, that was really well done. Really well done. Okay, Buccadeer, double thumbs up to Min right there for you. Absolutely. Okay, we've got a good number of volunteers in the chat here in Zoom. That's about, I think, 10 of us now. Let's give Fatima a chance. Fatima, can you unmute yourself?
Hi, sir. Am I clear?
You are, Fatima. How are you doing?
Fine. Thanks for asking. How about you, sir?
I am also doing quite well. Thank you. All right, Fatima. Ready for part 2?
Yeah, kinda. I should be.
Okay, kinda should be. All right.
I mean, I'm forgetful, and
that's so. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, you want to be confident for sure in the exam, 100%, right?
Sure.
So, here we go. Let's do this. Okay, talk about a book that you have read recently and discuss why you would recommend it to others. Your 1-minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay. Recently, I read a book named Midnight Library, which is written by Matt Haig. And a friend of mine actually offered this book to me because she told me that I'm sure that you will find the topic interesting for you. And the story is about a woman named Nora, and at his 30s, and she lives in the UK, Bedford specifically. And she's unsatisfied with her life, and she's always worried about the decisions she had made through her life. And something happens at the middle of the story, and she enters into between life and death, a particular place named Midnight Library. And in there, she's able to enter in different lives she could have through different decisions she could make. And this story shows very well that how every decision kind of affecting her life and how every word is not actually perfect. And at the end, she finds her own life, I mean, the root life, the best life for her. And through this story, I found out that there's no worries about the wrong decisions we have made, and there's always something wrong, and we should just focus on the life we currently live. And I found this kind of helpful for people because I've seen that many people always struggle with the decisions and they regret what they've done in the past. So I think this absolutely kind of helped a lot of people through this, showing them that it's just common to be worried about other possible lives we could have.
Okay,
And
your
the
time
story
is
is
up.
about. Okay.
I will stop you there. And we'll now go on to part 3. Oh, that's another amazing book synopsis that you just gave there for the book called Midnight Library, written by Matt Haig, did you say?
Yes.
Very nicely done, Fatime. Outstanding. So you and Min both, hats off. I'm jealous how good you answered that part too. That was really good. Very interesting story. A woman named Nora who lives in the UK and is unsatisfied with life. Part of the story where there's suddenly an event that changes, it's called a turning point. So there's a turning point in the middle of the story with a life and death situation in the Midnight Library. You did an amazing job. And again, kind of like with Min, just very, very tiny little mistakes here and there. You're very fluent. I would say that on the IELTS, that part 2 would be graded very high. It would be like an 8.5. I would grade that to a near expert level. If you wanted me to say like, okay, that's a band 9, it's expert, what I would suggest is speak 5% slower, just a little bit slower, and really focus on using very precise vocabulary in every part of the speech, and having very accurate, thought out, rhythmic English. So, but when we're talking band 9, like we're talking, broadcast English or lecture English in a university hall. So it's the top of the top. And to achieve that, you have to be very well articulated. You're almost there. You're just a little bit off. Okay, Fatime? So you're doing really, really well. What are you planning to do with your English in the future? Are you planning to teach?
Oh, no, not at all. I'm not good at teaching, actually. I'm going to apply for master's education in Italy. And actually, to be honest, I don't need a high band. Only overall 6 is required. But, it feels better when you fix your score at a 7 at least, and you'll be sure that you're not going to waste your money after, like, being worried to get lower.
Yeah, well, I guarantee that you're not going to get a band 7. You'll get a higher score for your speaking for sure. And
I hope so.
And the higher your score, the better it is. So for everybody out there, your IELTS score is valid for 2 years. And there are a lot of places that you can use that IELTS score, especially if it's a very high score. Like if you decide I want to move to Canada or the US or the UK, when you have like a band score that's, let's say, 8 or higher, you get a lot more points for your visa applications. So it does make sense to try to get as high of a score as possible. Plus for teaching positions, they're usually looking for a band score 8 to 8.5 or higher. And you said you don't want to teach, but you're doing a master's in education in Italy, right?
I don't want to teach. Sorry.
I thought that's what you said, that you're not looking to teach or teach English. I'm just trying to understand what.
Yes, because because I feel like that I don't desire that kind of teach English, because I find myself like so knowledgeable of basic English, because I had never kind of participated in English classes, and I learned through kind of movies, music, surroundings, and by myself. So academically, maybe I'm not quite well and qualified to teach English.
I think you definitely have a good talent for language. What do you plan to do with teaching, or your master's in teaching or education, I should say?
My education, actually, I study civil engineering, and my master is a related field in civil engineering.
Oh,
And
okay.
I don't know what happens in future.
Okay. I got you. I thought you were doing a master's in education. I misunderstood there. So you're
Ah,
doing a
sorry.
master's in civil engineering. Aha, I got
Yeah.
you. Okay. So you're going to build cities.
Maybe actually I'm going to protect people from hazards as I'm going to study risk analysis.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. All right. Well, thank you so much, Fatime, for volunteering. And
Yeah,
definitely sounds like an interesting book, Midnight Library. Thank you for sharing that.
yeah. Thank you too for having me.
Okay. Bye, Fatime.
Bye for now.
Okay. That was Fatime. Really good. Knocking it out of the park, both Min and Fatime. Yeah. Buccadeer gave 4 thumbs up and 3 claps that time. All right. Okay, Juan, why don't you unmute yourself? You're also, I see in the chat here.
Hello,
Hi, Juan.
how are you?
I am good. It's good to hear your voice. How have you been?
I've been doing well. These days it's really hot, but I'm doing well.
Okay. Min, I'm going to switch, or Min, sorry, Juan. I'm going to switch gears here. I'm going to get into part 3. Are you okay with that, Juan?
Yes, can you hear me well?
I can. Crystal clear. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. So after part 2, the examiner will say that is the end of part 2. We will now continue with part 3. Let's talk more about reading. How do you think reading books can benefit individuals in their personal lives?
Uh, Reading books can influence people in general in a very positive way because books can really uh, help people learn new abilities and also how to think better. For example, I've been reading a book called The Leadership Challenge, and it's kind of a self-help book. So it teaches how to treat people and how to develop confidence when it comes to human relationships.
What qualities or characteristics do you look for when choosing a book to read?
That can be a tricky question because in my case, I always look for a good cover. I don't know if that is a good idea, but often a good cover means also that the book is good. It happens to me. It happens to me a lot of times. But when I choose a book, I often open it in a random place, and I see how the author wrote the book when it comes to language and sentence structure. So if I can understand it and it's fun to read, I choose it.
Okay, let me stop there because you gave 2 very nice answers there, Juan, and I want to reflect
Thanks.
while I still have it clear in my head. So, first of all, very nice. You're almost over speaking. Like some examiners will be kind of like, should I interrupt him? Should I go to that next question? But then you stay on topic and you develop your answer nicely, and again, examiners are looking for that. They're looking for that nice development of the answers. So natural fillers like and I'm sure a lot of students watching right now, they're like, yeah, but Juan's using a lot of like and there's nothing wrong with that. Part 3, the questions are somewhat challenging. As long as it sounds natural and I can tell that you're thinking about what to say and not really how to say it, it's okay. The problem is
For my first answer, I felt like I had to finish the the answer because I don't know. I felt like you were going to interrupt me at any moment.
I was. So you felt correctly. I was like, one more word, and I'm interrupting. That was in my head. So you felt it correctly. Yeah, no, natural fillers are okay, again, as long as you're thinking about what to say and not how to say it. So if you're not just stuck on the grammar or the vocabulary, they won't interrupt you. They'll let you think through your answer. So you did a very good job. Some of the language could be a little bit more accurate. Like you said, often when I choose a book, I open it in a random place, and that's okay for everyday language. But for expert language, you would be more precise in that. It's again, it's okay English, like everyday English, it's okay. If I'm talking about expert or professional English, I would say I flip to a random page. I flip to a random page is more accurate, right?
To a random page.
Yeah, I flip to a random page, right? You flip through a book. Okay. So just little slight bits like that. If you would like to improve that professional aspect of your language one, you need to read professional books. So you want to read some kind of higher level books that will challenge your English. And I do recommend students that it's good to read books that are relatively easy to read and enjoyable, so you're having fun with the language, having fun with English, and mix in a little bit of challenging text, so academic text, biographies, and so forth, to develop that higher level vocabulary and language for that band 9. Okay.
Something more challenging.
Something that's a bit more challenging, something where you have to stop and think like, okay, what is that word and how should I be using that word in English in the future, right? So yeah, but your strategy was great. Answer, explanation, example, and your thinking was great. So I would say that was a solid band 8 so far, 8.5 even, and they were very nice answers. And I was hoping, I thought you might use that idiom or that expression here when you said that could be a tricky, because in my case I always look for a good cover. And do you know this saying, don't judge a book by its cover?
Yeah.
Although you could have said, although people say, and this is going to be a quote with an idiom. So although people say don't judge a book by its cover, by its cover, I tend to do that and it works.
Yeah.
Okay, so just repeat this sentence after me, everybody, and Juan, please repeat it. So although people say don't judge a book by its cover, I tend to do that, and in my case it seems to work.
Although people say don't judge a book by its cover, I don't know if it's a good idea, but I often use it and it works.
Okay, I often do that instead of use it.
I often do that.
Yeah, and it works. Okay, all right, Juan, that was really, really good. Keep it
Thanks.
up. Thank you.
Okay, then. See you
Bye,
later.
Juan. Bye.
Bye.
All right, students, I'm going to stop there. So I'm going to exit Zoom. Thank you to all the volunteers. And if you would really like to participate in these kinds of Zoom classes, again, the best way to do that, everybody, is just highly, highly recommend it. There's usually about 20 or so students in these Zoom classes on Thursdays and Fridays, and a lot of students get chances to speak and interact. So there are Zoom classes from start to finish. We've got 2 of them, one tomorrow and one on Friday. If you're signing up for the premium courses today, please send me an email so I can send you those links manually, because we send the links on Sunday or Monday usually, and so I already sent them for this week. So make sure to get a hold of me, like Morningstar. I saw that I think you're a premium user too, if I'm not mistaken, on the websites. Thank you for helping out in the chat, Carolina. The websites are aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com, so that's where you can sign up for the premium versions of the course. IELTS Help, General IELTS Help looks like this, and Academic looks like this with the blue background. Click the big red button. $30 to $50 US, 2 classes per week through Zoom. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access, and there's a ton of material, videos, practice exams, and lots more in your My Student account. Morningstar, you're super welcome. Great participation. Amal, nice to have you. Bye, Alexander. Thank you, Carolina, for putting the links in the chat. Have an awesome rest of your day, everybody. Premium students, see you tomorrow. YouTube students, see you next Tuesday. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. Much love to all of you wherever you are in the world. Bye for now.